Hey guys, and this is Almahifa Opera Reviews. Today we're going to review two Contes studio recordings, Richard Bonynge's 1972 version and Heinz Wallberg's 1979 version. Bonynge's is for Decca, while Wallberg's is for EMI and Warner Classics. Let's start with Richard Bonynge's 1972 recording. Hoffmann is Plácido Domingo, Joan Sutherland is every one of the three ladies, and Gabriel Baquia portrays the four villains. This recording also has the orchestra and chorus of La Suisse Romande, conducted by Richard Bonynge. This recording has the weirdest placement choices ever. Bonynge makes a septet from the Giulietta Act, a quartet in the epilogue. He also has an intermezzo with themes from the Giulietta Act to the start of the epilogue. What's strange to me is that he says at the start of his essay on the recording that he wanted to keep spoken dialogue because of Offenbach's original preferences, but then he does all this. I'm not a fan of spoken dialogue, and neither am I a fan of these weird placements. If you ask me, you should have just kept the original score and stuck with it. You can't have it both ways. I also think that it doesn't make much sense to put spoken dialogue in an audio recording. Bonynge also sticks with the ending of Giulietta taking poison, which makes less sense to me, since I think it fixed her character more for her to just leave. The sound is good, with a fair deal of sound effects. The stereo sound is not as fresh as in Wallberg's sets, but maybe it is because of the dates of the digital remasterings of the two recordings. Bonynge's lively conducting suits the opera well, though there is a lot of spoken dialogue. The Kleinzach ballad is rushed, though. In the extra ensemble scenes, he conducts masterfully, although it would have been weird if he didn't conduct them well, since he added them himself. Some voices in the chorus are over-mic'd in the Kleinzach scene, but other than that, it is adequate. The orchestra plays well, keeping along with Bonynge's fast pace. I think Domingo has too refined the voice for Hoffmann. He is not as fun as he could have been in the Kleinzach scene. I don't think that his voice can have a lot of swagger. He is pretty good in the emotional scenes, but the potential in Act 1 is not reached. His diction is not great, but overall, he is a decent, competent, if not amazing, Hoffmann. Sutherland has too big a voice for Olympia. She does not deliver the best high notes in the first act, but then moves on to be an amazing Giulietta. She is good in her duet with Nicklaus. Et la fui la torturelle is sung with a lot of emotion, and her singing in the Antonia act is realistic. I don't think that she is the most exciting singer in the world, and she has awful diction, but she is okay overall. Baquia's voice is not as well suited to the four villains as he is to, say, Fra Melitone, or any other buffa roles, and his talking is very, very overacted. His low notes have a bite to them, but overall, his voice does not have the snarling, angry qualities a villain needs. However, his voice is very clear, and he is well mic'd. Overall, this recording was a milestone in its time, because of the stylistic choices it had. However, those choices aren't good in my opinion. I have problems with this recording because of the disrespect to the way the music originally fit, and to Offenbach's original style. 5.5 out of 10. The only stylistic choices that are different in this recording from the original score are that it is translated into German, and that the epilogue is almost completely cut. Regardless, this is still a good recording. Heinz Wallberg conducts the Munich Radio Orchestra and the chorus of the Bavarian Radio. Hoffmann is Siegfried Jerusalem, Olympia is Janet Scovotti, Giulietta is Norma Sharp, and Antonia is Julia Varadi. The four villains are portrayed by Dietrich Fischer-Dieskau. I'm usually not one to say that I like translated versions of operas. For example, I don't like when Carmen is translated, but I think that this version works very well, especially since Hoffmann is set in Germany. It also suits the singer's voices very well, even though I might have preferred it in the original French. I also don't like the fact that the epilogue is cut. It is a key part of the opera, and the ending is empty without it. The sound is very fresh and vibrant. The singer's voices ring out very clearly. There are sound effects that are very satisfying to listen to. Heinz Wallberg conducts everything in a brilliant way. The Kleinzach scene is conducted with swagger and a great sense of fun, while the emotional scenes are appropriately beautiful. The orchestra plays very well and supports the singers well, while also playing very, very beautifully in the prelude to the Giulietta act. The Bavarian radio chorus sings well, making you want to dance to their tunes. Siegfried Jerusalem is my personal favorite Hoffmann, and one of my favorite tenors. He has a ringing voice that can be fun and emotional, and he has great diction. This is before his graduation into Wagnerian repertoire, so he's a little more lyrical, which suits Hoffmann. His high notes are also great here, making for a great portrayal. Janet Scovotti doesn't have the biggest voices, but her high notes are very easy and comfortable. She manages Olympia's coloraturas without much stress on the voice. Her portrayal of a doll would probably have been even better if she had been on stage. Norma Sharp's Julieta has a very robust quality to it. Her voice is very round and imposing here, which is Julieta. I think that she also has a very pompous quality to her voice, which is Julieta's most resounding trait. She pairs well with Jerusalem Zofban and benefits from the stereo sound. Giulia Verratti is the only problem with this recording. She sings a colorless Antonia. This is even worse because Antonia's emotions are her most crucial part. She needs to make it realistic. That's why she isn't great. She also struggles a bit with the one coloratura part of Antonia. The scene is only brought to life by Jerusalem Zofman and Fischer Dieskau's Miracle. The German translation benefits Fischer Dieskau, who sings all his roles with snarling passion. His leader singing paid off in this recording, because he sings very well. In the Antonia scene, he is terrifying, while in the other two, he is simply a snarky, cunning villain. Giulia Verratti is the only problem with this recording. It is a great Hoffmann and a wonderful opera recording. 8 out of 10. Bonynge's has its advantages, but Wallberg's is way better overall. I think the main problem with Bonynge's is the revisions to the score. If you like Hoffmann in the original French, go for Bonynge over Wallberg. However, if you don't mind the translation, Wallberg's is the choice. Thank you for watching Alma Viva Opera Reviews, and please like, comment, and subscribe.